I had an enlightening conversation with a friend of mine this week when he started asking me about my business and what I do. I typically don't talk a lot about my business with friends or acquaintances because inevitably it leads to people asking me for relationship advice. Of course, I love to do that. You guys are probably going to ask me for some relationship advice on this live right now. It's all good, but it's nice to have a break from that at times. Anyways, he happened to catch me in an inspired moment when he was asking me, like, what does your program do? Like, you got this thing, Love Over Fear. What does it do? And I've got my mission and my values and my purpose, why I exist for, all these different things. But he was like, what does it do? And typically I would tell people, it helps people either in relationships or not in relationships to be able to get out of their own way so they can have the love and connection that they really want. Now, my mission is to empower people in any situation. My vision is a world of people in partnership, that we actually have a world of people who are working together and in partnership. Now, how can I say that more clearly? I was trying to for people who don't understand it, people what do you do? And I would say to the most basic level, I help people, I facilitate the ability for people to have power and influence over their lives. That's the most basic way I could say it. Power and influence over their lives, over their relationships, over their connections. Because the thing is, most people are a result of their environment. Most people are getting what they're getting because their environment or situation is dictating it. Their triggers, their emotional reactions, this stimulus response. When a woman does this, I do that. When a man does this, I do this. It's cause and reaction. Now, that's a very powerless way to live because it means I'm at the mercy of what's going on around me. So in the basic sense of it, my job is to facilitate you to have power and influence over any situation in your life. Now, the details of how we do that further, well, first we look at what do people want to create. I help people clearly define a future that they want. We got to be clear about what we want for us to have it. That's the first step. Now, some people stop there. They go, I wrote down who I love. I wrote down who I want to be with and what they're like, and they are not in my life yet. Well, that's the first part. And there's a technique on how we do this. The second part is actually to get the past out of the way. See, most of us are carrying around baggage. You hear this term, baggage, carrying around the past. But most of us see it more like a concept. We don't actually have awareness over what it is that we're actually carrying around. We don't actually have clarity on how I have never fully forgiven myself for that thing that happened 10, 20 years ago, whatever it is. And that influences everything I do now. Well, if that's going on, that's the place to go to work. The past is being dragged into the future. And so the second part is actually helping people put the past in the past, where it belongs. Now again, this can't be conceptual. So many people know this work. They've got self-awareness. I know I should be positive. I know I should, select my thoughts, but we don't actually take it on and embody what it is. I'm going to do another live about some people who are confused about my love bombing, but I'll do that for later, tomorrow or something. Now, the third key piece that I support people with is to actually coach people to be able to have the tools and skills to communicate in any situation, to be able to make a difference with anyone, regardless of what's going on. These are trained skills, but most of us are just throwing shit on the wall to see what sticks. Hence, you can see why we have the same kind of problems. We can see why we end up in the same kind of situations. Cause and effect, cause and effect. So it was fun to share this because I have this incredible program called Love Over Fear. It's a digital course that I facilitate in 3 different ways. The self-paced version, where I'm your digital course. The group version, where I coach you in a group. Or the one-on-one version, where you can work with people on my team, one-on-one. Now, my course is so good. It's so amazing. I'm so proud of it. I'm so proud of it and what it does. It's been meticulously designed with workbooks, with guided videos. It is so good. Now, how do I say this? I know I'm biased because it's my course. Well, I hired an amazing team to help me create it. I've taken so many courses in my life. I've personally invested over $200,000 into my growth. my program is amazing. And so when he was asking me this, I was like, I want more people to get what comes out of this program. I want more people to participate in it so that they can have breakthroughs in love and connection, so that they can have a new kind of confidence over themselves, so that we can have a kind of security within ourselves that regardless of what anyone else is doing, I feel solid where I'm at. I want as many people as possible to have that. Now, part of me supporting you, supporting anyone who's watching this to actually take action, that's my job. That's where I'm going to work on, like, how can I be more clear for people to inspire them to take action on their relationships in their life. I've got this amazing program to help make it easy for people. It's a structure. It's got a designed setup for you. It's a guide. But still we get scared. It's so scary to be able to take this kind of power over our lives. It's much easier to complain. It's much easier to wallow and feel sorry for ourselves. And it doesn't have to be that way. So I'm looking to promote this work as much as possible. Yeah, of course, I get to earn a living out of this, but I can earn a great living as a one-on-one coach, and I've earned a great living as a coach, but this is so much more than that. It's about being able to have people have the kind of loves that they didn't think were possible. The kind of life that seems rare, but doesn't have to be. So I encourage you. I encourage you to take action. I encourage you to sign up for my Love Over Fear program. It is a fantastic program that guides you through whatever you want in love and relationships. You're a single person. You get to have the kind of confidence and security that allows you to be with anyone in any situation, to attract the kind of partner you want. You're someone who's in a relationship, gives you the kind of tools to be able to deal with the conflict, to maybe deepen that relationship or walk away from it if that's more appropriate for you. I don't tell people what to do. I help people get connected to who they really are so that you can trust your inner guide, that you don't need me or anybody else to tell you what to do because you know who you are. You know what you stand for. You have the skill to recognize the difference between when you're being guided by fear or by love, hence love over fear. I see so many people trying to walk through life trying to be fearless. I really wish I was fearless. You guys, in my opinion, there's no such thing as fearlessness. The only people who are fearless are on drugs because they're not feeling anything. But if you actually want to take on anything that's important in your life, anything that really matters to you, you're going to be scared. It's normal to be scared. Every time I press record on these videos, I'm nervous. I've got some fear because I want it to be great. I want it to be valuable for you. I want this to be interesting and make a difference. And sometimes I feel pressure to be able to do that. Oh, got some people outside. Shh. Dogs everywhere. Just on a live. My wife's right there. One sec. Yeah. Anyways, where was I? Fearlessness. If we can accept that we're going to be scared, we're on our way. That's a huge opportunity to develop momentum. To go, okay, I'm taking on this thing and I'm scared. Okay, it's normal for me to be scared. But most people are going, I'm taking on this thing and I'm scared. Oh, I shouldn't be. I better pretend I'm not. I better act like I have it all together. All this becomes pressure. It becomes a facade, and we get really good at pretending to be who we're not. And guess what? We bring that into relationships. Now I've gotten so good at pretending to be a certain way. I'm going to pretend to be it with someone I'm dating and get them to like me. And now all of a sudden they like me, but they don't even like the real me because I don't even know the real me. I haven't been connected to who I am. I haven't been showing who I am. So now I'm worried, is this relationship even real? Can I trust it? Oh no, I don't know if I can trust it. I better keep up the facade and keep it going. That is such an unfulfilling life. You know the feeling. I'm sure most of you know the feeling of having to pretend to be a certain way to receive love and connection and to not really trust it. It's a terrible feeling. So, there's another way. It doesn't have to be like that. You can have something you've never had before if you can give up needing to know how. I tell everybody I work with, your job is not to know how. That's my job. My job is to show you how. Your job is to know what. What do you want? What are you tired of? What do you want to feel? How would you like it to go? And then my job is to show you the path for it. So if you're curious about working with me, if you're curious about my coaching, you can visit my website. You can take my self-paced program. In my opinion, it's an amazing price. It's not cheap. None of my work is cheap because we don't do small results. We do huge results. But it's so valuable. So you're open to that. You know where to go. Feel free to ask me some questions and we'll go from there. Did somebody ask any questions on here that I wanted me to answer? I see a couple. I'll stay on and answer 2 questions and I'll hop off. Someone said, why do we keep going back to the same cycle, ignore the red flags, yet keep going until getting hurt? But even when you're being hurt, some reassurance from them and you're back 1 or 2 months, the same thing again. Yeah, why do we repeat cycles? So this is something that's hard for people to accept and hard for people even to look at. We repeat cycles because we get something out of that cycle. Even though you just said how crappy that is, the red flags, getting hurt, like it seems so obviously not good. So logically, why would I go back to something that's obviously not good? Because you get something out of it. Now, often the thing we get out of it is camouflaged or hidden. It's tough to actually define. Huge part of coaching in the second part of my program is that, actually defining what have I been getting out of these patterns that I have been participating in. When we clearly define that it's actually something I get and acknowledge it and get present to what it's been costing us. So here's the thing, we get something and we miss out on something. When we're present to those, when we're present to those 2 things, it gets really obvious to interrupt the cycle. But if we're not, we just keep trying to avoid something. We keep trying to fix it and it never quite does the trick. So again, this is where the coaching comes in. Side note, it's so funny. I mean, how would I say this? It's not that I get triggered, but it almost irritates me when I see people in the comments of my videos. I'm so grateful for the comments. I'm so grateful for you guys participating and being open to love and connection and developing yourselves, considering me as someone that you can trust for that growth. I'm very grateful for that. And when people comment in my section, like, tell me how to fix this. It's like, first of all, I just want you guys to get, I create this content for free. You're not paying for any of my content. And it's based on 11 years of my own personal growth and development. Time, hard work, focus, well thought out things. And so keep in mind, you guys, that's an opportunity, that's a privilege to be able to have viewing this stuff and actually making something out of it. I'm not asking any money for that. And I'm grateful to do it. If I was a multi-millionaire, I would still be doing this same work. I have this written in my journal. What would you do if money was no object? I would do this. I love it. But that being said, keep in mind, you guys, if you want to go deep in this work, if you actually want to make a lasting difference, it's going to take more than a reel. It's going to take more than a comment. Just notice that. Especially if you feel obligated or expected that I should give you guys, everything, the keys to the kingdom. Here's the thing, you probably wouldn't even use it. You probably wouldn't even use it. It's like when you buy a treadmill and you put it in your house. All the excuses go away. Yeah, and you still don't use it. Because we are still hung up on something. We don't have any skin in the game. We're not participating fully. And so a huge part of coaching is to actually create an environment of participation, accountability. Anyways, I think I'm done ranting for now. You guys are amazing. Thank you for being open to this conversation, and encourage you to set yourself up with a structure. Okay? I of course, am going to be a massive advocate for coaching. One, because I am a coach, and because my life is a result of amazing coaches that I've had. And it's such a beautiful experience to be contributed to by someone who can help you see your blind spots. I would consider I have a very amazing life that I'm extremely grateful for. And I still have a coach because I love discovering my own blind spots. And I know there's an endless amount. I truly believe that we are here to squeeze the juice out of life, to make as much as we can out of life and play the biggest games that we know how. For ourselves, for others, and it's just a thrill. So, if you're curious about coaching, you know where to find me. Sending you love. Talk to you later.